Welcome to this edition of Borderland Treasures, sponsored by Preservation Texas and the County of El Paso. Today we explore a home connected to the one and only Pancho Villa. It's where the Mexican revolutionary leader kept his hidden treasure. Watch this.
So there's all kinds of histories that converge in a place like this.
In downtown El Paso,
it was part of a grid of all kinds of activities.
A home situated on De Leon Street.
Underground activities.
Built in about 1899.
So whatever happened here in the streets of El Paso and houses like this would have a huge impact in central Mexico.
Known as the Casa Clandestina.
So this was an ideal plotting ground.
Or Pancho Villa's stash house.
It served to smuggle weapons, to carry out espionage. I would say that El Paso was Pancho Villa's favorite city.
Historian David Romo says even prior to the Mexican Revolution, Pancho Villa, a Mexican revolutionary general, worked in El Paso.
So there's all these oral histories that he worked taking care of fighting roosters, that he worked, possibly one oral history says that he worked in a Zarco.
When the revolution began, Romo says Pancho Villa accompanied Francisco Madero, who challenged longtime President Porfirio Diaz for the presidency, sparking the Mexican Revolution.
So remember, the Mexican Revolution was the first major social revolution in world history in the 20th century.
El Paso was the perfect place for Pancho Villa, he says.
It was right next to Mexico, but far enough so that it was difficult for President Porfirio Diaz or the Federals to come and capture them.
Romo says the city served as the perfect plotting ground, and this home was used to smuggle weapons and hide valuables.
The U.S. Treasury Department and intelligence agencies were on the lookout. They would hang out in front of the house trying to see who was coming in and out.
The home was raided by the U.S. government in November of 1915. $500,000 was said to be found here, as well as $30,000 worth in jewelry.
I don't think it would hold in a court of law today because they had no proof that this was smuggled.
Since this is just mud?
The home made of adobe, now renovated by entrepreneur Enrique Guajardo.
You know, it was abandoned.
The home needed an overhaul of work.
And I'm like, well, I can do something in here, restore this property, and that's how the venture started.
Walls were falling apart, its wooden floors in distress.
This is one of the boxes we found here.
But as Guajardo and his team kept sifting through the old abandoned home, the more they found.
As we were finding stuff, it was very exciting because you were picking up stuff like, oh, what's next, right?
Guajardo found a neat way to showcase what could have been Pancho Villa's stash, hidden among the old wooden floors, a place where the treasure may have been kept.
It is a treasure for El Paso and for the community of El Paso.
After the raid, Pancho Villa continued to engage in what Romo calls guerrilla warfare.
He felt betrayed by an American government, an American businessman, that he had even defended their interests. For instance, he would protect the Zarco mines and what have you. And now the United States turns on him. So a few months after that, that's when Villa attacks Columbus, New Mexico. And there's 17 Americans who are killed.
General Pershing was given permission to search for Villa after the incident, but Villa could not be found. Back here in El Paso, though, a treasure, a piece of that history, continues to live on. The owner of the home, Enrique Guajardo, says he plans to turn it into a restaurant in the near future. We'll keep you updated when it opens. See you next time right here on Borderland Treasures.